Hey Narwhals, my name's Luke Narwhal, and today we're going to be reading Ask Reddit. Skinny people who used to be fat. Do you feel that you're treated differently now after the weight loss? How so? People treat me 100% differently now that I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm invited to parties, get-togethers, etc. Oh, and you rarely ever get approached by women when you're morbidly obese. I'm not super thin now by any means. I'm still husky, but yes, it's two totally different worlds. It's always depressing when I read these topics because I wound up losing 50 pounds, working out more. Now I'm in the best shape of my entire life, and I feel like nobody treats me even the slightest bit differently. I'm told I'm funny, but nobody invites me out. I'm told I'm cute, but single girls never flirt with me. I'm way more attractive and social than I used to be, but I still find myself alone all the time, and my attempts to make friends just make me feel isolated. I don't know what the hell went wrong. Definitely, nobody made fun of my appearance when I lost weight, including strangers on the street. Guys who had once teased me suddenly wanted to spend time with me. People, without a doubt, seem to take me more seriously. This will sound entitled, and it totally makes me uncomfortable because I wasn't raised with it. But female attention, not at all used to it, and it kind of makes me feel weird. Yes, people are nicer. So much nicer. It's crazy. Being a fat kid and getting picked on still makes me think random people are going to taunt me on the street, but it doesn't happen ever. Girls are attracted to me without me having to get to know them at the same level. It's altogether better, without a doubt. I'm happy that I left the weight off going on 5 years. Literally half the man I used to be, down from almost 375 to 175. People do treat you different. I kinda just fit in now. People seem nicer and more willing to talk to me. I also at one point got down to 155. What hurts just as bad is when someone tells you that you should gain weight or are just too skinny. That felt the exact same as when someone told me I needed to lose weight or was too fat. Holy cow, this question is made for me. I went from fat to skinny to fat to skinny again, now well built and with muscles. When I was in high school, I lost around 30 kilograms, 70 pounds, and holy crap, did people treat me differently. Girls were more friendly, the jocks were approaching me, etc. And whenever I went into town, I would have girls latching themselves onto me. Beforehand, literally none of this happened. I still had friends who were girls, but the popular ones never talked to me if they didn't need to. After being this way for a few years, several life events happened all at once that just crippled me. Bad leg injury, meaning I could hardly walk, exams/work, and my best friend passing away, and I slowly stopped exercising and started eating like crap again. I mean like 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. Over the span of 6 months, I went from 80 kilograms and built to 115 kilograms and pudgy again. The same old people who were flocking to me when I was built went back to ignoring me, and girls no longer looked my way/approached me, etc. However, at the time I was in a pretty average state. I really didn't care about that as I wanted to be left alone. So being visually repulsive was like a sign around my neck saying, F off. I've recently been on a massive health kick for the past 6 months and have gone from 120 kilograms down to 95 kilograms. So not quite where I was initially, but I'm much stronger, been doing it while weight training 5 times a week, and I'm starting to look better. And of course, the same things are starting to happen. Girls who were not necessarily talking to me are now noticing me. Whenever I walk down the street, girls look my way, etc. It's nice to be noticed again, but it's funny how not necessarily shallow people's attention is, but how appearance is so closely linked to your weight. To be honest, that's one of the main reasons when I was skinny in the past, I didn't really date anyone. Got asked why I was single a lot by people, as the people who were actively pursuing me barely noticed me beforehand. And the people who I did like before losing the weight started acting very different around me as I was seen as popular now. TLDR, yes, people treat you a lot differently based on your weight. That controversial phrase, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, yeah, it's true. I've lost about 60 pounds total over the past 2 years. Honestly, it's been amazing. I had been chubby and eventually obese most of my life. Bullied, outcast, awkward. After losing weight, I feel absolutely wonderful. People talk to me. I love dressing up and going out in public. I've learned how to have proper social interactions. Basically, I feel like I didn't become a real person until I lost weight, and people didn't treat me like one until I did either. Life is a whole lot better. Now when men street harass me, they threaten to frig me instead of mooing. When I was overweight, strangers would scream insults at me from passing cars. That doesn't happen now, which is nice. Wow, what the frig? I can't believe people like that exist. I was riding my bike down a busy street one day. A group of guys in a car passed me. Some of them leaned out and yelled, "Fat girl on a bike." I've barely gotten on the bike since. It was hard to get on it in the first place because I'm afraid of falling and hurting myself. A few bad accidents when I was younger, so that really hurt. It's very difficult for some overweight people to exercise because of the stigma we feel just existing. I grew up chubby, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, just the kind of chubby you are and only realize it when you see a picture of yourself or somebody makes a jab at the pool in summer. Summer before freshman year football practice effing shredded me. All of a sudden, girls are like, "Oh, you're too cool to talk to me?" No girl, you were when I was chubby. I loved my high school girlfriend for always loving me. She did appreciate the change, by the way. Yeah, I'm treated less by doctors. Oh snap, that's the sound your ankles didn't make. Chubby fat person here who used to be very fat person who then got very skinny. As a skinny girl, the world opened up for me. People were nicer to me. I was pursued by men and women I didn't even know left and right. Promised lots of things for a date. Girls wanted to be my friend, but a lot of people assumed I had always been this semi-fit person with a lot of charisma and wrongly thought I wasn't as intelligent, or that I was more naive than I actually was, all because of how I presented myself. Growing up, I'd always found a place with the outcasts, the weird kid clique. But while I found many doors open for me as a thin, well put together person, I felt shunned by the type of people I felt comfortable with. I was always treated like I couldn't possibly have depth to me simply for how I looked, but I was also treated much better by the general population. It was a really weird experience. Since becoming deeply depressed again and gaining some weight back, I'm now invisible once more. I'd like to be fit again because I was so happy, if a little heartbroken by my former crowd, but trying to lose the weight this time has made me mentally worse. I'm still obese, but this has given me the push I need to start hitting the gym. Thank you for all your submissions and such. Female eye contact. Females smiling at me or saying hi, and the occasional female introducing herself to me. When I was 70 pounds heavier, I was invisible to women. Instead of being looked at with an expression of complete disgust, people look at me with an expression of moderate disgust. I've lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over a year and a half, and so I've had some perspective on this. Generally, I would say that people do treat me differently than when I was 100 pounds heavier. I've wondered what it is that makes it different, and I have it down to 3 things. First, it's a matter of normalcy. You're more like the norm when you lose weight. You're closer to general expectations. Heaviness, to many, equates a lack of health, lack of self-control, lack of longevity, lack of ambition. When you slim down, you're presenting a person that more people can relate to on their own terms. It's not a perception that I think is very kind or generous, but that's where it is. Secondly, you yourself present a much healthier exterior. You're moving faster, you're lighter on your feet, you eat less, you're not bogged down, you sweat less, you don't run out of breath as easy, and you're able to do more. You're essentially a younger person, and that youth and endurance communicates as health and vitality. Lastly, like it or not, you have to become closer to the general standards of attractiveness. This was the weirder one for me. I do see attractiveness in people of many shapes, so I didn't think that this was an automatic one. But yeah, more people hit on you. You are flattered by this. You actually feel a bit sad that you lost some years hidden from this flattery. You are angry that people didn't see it in you before. Then you just come to appreciate who you are now and that this is your new normal. That's what I've been able to glean from this process. It's all part of a long transformation, and we adjust as we go along. And that brings us to the end of the video, narwhals. If you enjoyed the video, tap the red subscribe button below for more weight loss stories and to join the narwhals. Also, leave a thumbs up below if you enjoyed. And lastly, feel free to answer our question of the day in the comment section below. Have you ever been treated differently because of your weight? Until next time, be brave, be a narwhal.